Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Please, before you watch, hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment down below. Looking forward to this season, man. Obviously, I'm going to be doing these weekly predictions, and I'm going to be giving Bengals previews, Bengals post games, any type of Bengals content throughout the season. And I'll provide, picks and predictions as well. I'm looking forward to this season, man. It's going to be a great one. I expect, everybody to hopefully come out healthy because last year, obviously, we know that it was an injury full of absolute hell. I think that week ones, obviously, all I can tell you is week ones are going to be weird, really weird, and they always are. But I will dive into the matchups, and I will tell you who I have winning and why. So let's get started with the Thursday night game. It is an AFC Championship rematch between the Baltimore Ravens and the two-time defending back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. The Ravens, they're dealing with some pretty significant losses. They got, Calais Campbell is no longer there. Geno Stone is no longer there. And they lost Geno Stone and Patrick Queen, both to, division rivals. I think that could really expose them to Patrick Mahomes', potent passing, especially at Arrowhead Stadium. I think that, he plays really well, and Travis Kelce is going to be there. Chris Jones is going to be there as well, even though he's on defense. Last year against Detroit, they both weren't present. I don't believe Travis was. I don't remember exactly. But Lamar Jackson's going to have to step up, man. He's going to have to make the most of his opportunities. He's got Zay Flowers. He's got Rashad Bateman. He's got Devin Duvernay. He's got some talent on offense. The Ravens, they're going to have their hands full, and I just don't see the Chiefs losing back-to-back season openers, especially coming off a Super Bowl. I think they have too much confidence rolling. And I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to get the job. I'm going to root for them because I don't like either one of these teams. Casey, I do respect them. Ravens, kind of, just not so much. I mean, definitely more than Pittsburgh, I'll tell you that. But anyway, I do have the Chiefs winning, and I will root for KC. I'm rooting for KC all day. But moving on to Friday game in Brazil, NFC showdown. We got the Green Bay Packers heading to Brazil, with the Eagles also heading to Brazil. But they're the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Jordan Love, man, he's going to face a tough challenge against this tough defensive front. They got Jalen Carter. They got, obviously, Jalen Hurts. He made a Super Bowl. I think people have kind of forgot about him because of his injury and everything. Hassan Reddick on that defensive line as well. Don't forget, their defensive line is going to be lethal. And then their offense as well with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. It just comes down to the Packers' ability to protect Jordan Love, in my opinion. I think, can they establish a run game? They don't have Aaron Jones anymore. It's just going to be tough because I think that it's going to be a lot to overcome. And, I fully believe that the Eagles have what it takes to get this win. But also, you have to keep in mind, they did bolster their defense, yes. I don't know. I think the Packers really could pull off a road upset here because here's one reason why I think it's very possible. Jordan Love just got paid, and he's hearing all the talk about, what's he going to look like, did he really deserve it, and all that stuff. I think he's going to come out with fire this game. I really do. I think he's going to be out to prove, man, y'all are really, hating on me. So, believe it or not, guys, and I don't have an upset for week one because week ones it's just too many upsets. It's just a weird-ass week. I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers to upset the Eagles here. I guess a hostile environment for both teams, but the Eagles are definitely a seasoned squad. The Packers are just going to come out really hungry, and I think that, they're going to kind of assert themselves, especially in the division with the Detroit Lions, who obviously were in the NFC Championship last year, I should say. So I think this is going to be a great game, though. I'm looking forward to it, and wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way. Next up on Sunday, we got an NFC South rivalry as the Carolina Panthers travel to the Dome to play the New Orleans Saints. So the Saints are coming to this game. Their offensive line is pretty banged up. Derek Carr ain't that good, in my opinion. Chris Olave is obviously a monster. I just don't know with the Saints. They obviously signed a couple linebackers. I think they signed Mike Rose, is that his name? They signed some offensive linemen too, but it's just uncertain right now. They're not really known for being super active in free agency. They usually kind of restructure, and you kind of saw that in the Drew Brees days as well. Derek Carr, he's gonna have to find a way to navigate through that Carolina Panthers pressure because the Packers, they've made key upgrades to the offense, or the Panthers rather have made key upgrades to their offensive line. And they're going to take advantage of the Saints. Trevor Penning is looking pretty good, actually, in preseason, believe it or not. But I think this comes down to who can execute better. And honestly, guys, I know Bryce Young's in his second year. But I actually think that he can execute better than Derek Carr. I know Derek Carr's a veteran, but I just don't see him managing the pressure that well. And believe it or not, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers to pull off another road upset here. I think the Panthers, a lot of pride. I think they're going to be a lot better than what people think as well. Saints, obviously, I think they're okay. I don't think they're that good. But, I think that the Panthers, I think they're going to come out and try to come out as hot as they can. So, give me the Panthers to upset the Saints in New Orleans. Next up on Sunday, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium. So, the Vikings obviously had a rough offseason. They got Aaron Jones, yes, but, J.J. McCarthy's out for the season. Jordan Addison has an injury. Justin Jefferson, I believe, has an injury. So, as I'm recording this, guys, it's August 21st, so definitely things could change, 2 weeks from now. But I think they're going to try to capitalize on the Saints' weakness. I think it comes down to, again, which team executes, which team, can force more turnovers. And I think that the Giants, obviously, they brought in Brian Burns, so it adds a little bit more to their pass rush, which is already strong. And Sam Darnold is starting for the Vikings. I don't know how he's going to handle that. I don't like Daniel Jones at quarterback. And also T.J. Hawkinson's hurt, so they have just an offensive fest of injuries. So I think the Giants' defense is a good chance for them to capitalize on, the vulnerabilities that the Minnesota Vikings have. And I'm actually going to say that the New York Giants win at home. I like their chances here. I don't know how good. I don't know if they're going to be that good, but I think they definitely have a strong defense. They've had a strong defense for a long time, and I just don't think seeing Ghost Darnold can overcome that Giants defense, especially in this game. So give me the Giants over the Vikings. And next up, we got my matchup, guys. We got the New England Patriots at the Cincinnati Bengals. This game, guys, I've been waiting for a long time because, I'm excited to see, what we can do. Obviously, I've been waiting, pretty much all offseason for Bengals. There is some concerns I have on both sides if I'm a fan of either one of these teams, which I am. But starting with the Bengals, they entered this matchup with some concerns on the offensive line. Obviously, Deontay Smith, I'm very high on him in terms of depth. He's hurt. Amarius Mims is has a pec injury and he's expected to miss. I think the start of week 1 he's gonna suit up, but Trent Brown should be fine, I guess, too as well. So their offensive line is actually looking okay in training camp and in game, but I don't know, the depth concerns me, and also I just think Joe Burrow, he proves time and time again he's just solid under pressure. The Patriots historically they're known for kind of a disciplined defense. But they traded away Matthew Judon to the Atlanta Falcons. So I just think the Bengals defense is going to have to contain the offense as well as it can, take advantage of Drake May, a rookie quarterback, and vice versa. I think that the Patriots defense just has to limit Burrow, bring the pressure. I think that this is a game where the Bengals can kind of reverse the trend, of the last couple of years. They've started off 0-2 the last 2 years. They've started off, I think in 2021 they started off like 5-4. So they've always started kind of slow. And, some concerns on the offensive line and the depth, I think that could be, resolved, obviously, by the end of training camp. But I think that Cincinnati just has to make a statement, man. I think it's time to just kind of put the foot on the gas. And I think that, obviously, as I'm recording this, the preseason game is, like, the next day. But it's good that they're not playing the starters, but it's good that they did play the starters a little bit in preseason as well. So I feel like they've also kind of learned from their mistakes, which hopefully it turns into something good, this weekend. So, or the weekend of the game, I should say. But looking at the Patriots, though, their defense is entering a new era without, Brady and Belichick, obviously. So, you can expect them to have some flashes here and there. Would I be surprised if they somehow take it to us? For some reason, I would not. I don't think it's going to happen. But, the Bengals, everybody knows the Bengals don't have the greatest history against rookie quarterbacks because of the minimal tape that they have. So I just don't know. I don't know. Because I'm not saying... I feel confident we're going to win this game. And I do have us winning this game. But I don't know. I'm picking us to win. I really, like this team. And I love that, how they look coming into the season. I think this is a favorable matchup. But Drake May is looking pretty good as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if this, remains close throughout. I'm not saying we have a chance of losing. I'm just saying, this game could definitely be close. Not going to lie. So I'm picking the Bengals here. I do think that they're the better team. And, I think it's an opportunity to just start off fast. And next up, guys, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons. this one could be like all-out defensive game because the Steelers are led by T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith, and they're going to have to disrupt Kirk Cousins. The Falcons, they added a lot of veterans. Obviously, they added Matthew Judon as well. So we'll see if they can gel by week one, I should say. But Atlanta's going to have to rely on their running game because, the Steelers, if you keep running it, the Steelers are going to be able to eventually figure it out with their pass rush. And even Cam Hayward, I think he still has some left in the tank. But the Falcons are going to have to establish the run. That's going to be key for Atlanta in this game. And the Steelers, they can definitely exploit that. The Steelers, you look at the Steelers, they got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields on their QB roster. So, either one, starts this game. I think they're going to probably roll with Russ just because he's a veteran. It's going to come down to who wins the turnover battle. Both these defenses are really good. I like Kirk Cousins right now a little better than I do Russell Wilson. But I like that Steelers defense a lot. And I think that their offense is, especially, it depends. Maybe they get Ayuk, I don't know. But, with Deontay gone, you could view Deontay Johnson, that is. I kind of view that as kind of like a distraction kind of out the door, if that's what you want to call it. So I'm actually going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to pull off an upset. I hate to do it because I want to see, them lose, every time they play. Same with any AFC North team unless they're playing each other. But I think it just comes down to the line of scrimmage and who can win the turnover battle. I think the Steelers' defense, especially, they play pretty well against Atlanta. So I actually have the Steelers winning this game. I think that their defense is going to, kind of do what they did to us in Week 1 a couple years ago, except I just don't think it's going to overtime. And next up, we got the Houston Texans traveling to Indianapolis to play the Indianapolis Colts. So this is two teams looking to establish themselves early in the season in an AFC South tilt. They played in Indy last year for the AFC South title. Texans, they got a high-powered offense. They got Joe Mixon now on that team. They got Tank Dell, obviously. That's a nightmare for any defense. I can tell you that right now as a Bengals fan who played them last year. The Colts, they're getting Anthony Richardson, who had a rough, I know that we also taunted him or something. I know he had a rough joint practice against, us in Cincinnati. But their home field advantage is going to be, important here. Richardson's ability is going to it's going to come down to making plays with his arms and legs, kind of like Johnny Manziel, except, I don't think Anthony Richardson is, a drug addict or whatever you want to call him. But Texans got an explosive offense. I trust that Colts defense. It depends how Anthony Richardson looks. Because of the uncertainty, I usually go with the home team, but in this case, I'm actually going to go with the Houston Texans here. I think that, C.J. Stroud, he wants to come out hot, and he wants to just end the talk of sophomore slump. And I think that's what he's going to do. I think that, I don't see a sophomore slump for him, honestly. I just see him getting better and better and better. I think he's that type of quarterback, but again, you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks, so you can't really, I guess, you really can't predict. So I'm picking the Texans over the Colts, though, in this one. Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Buffalo Bills. So we look at the Cardinals. Obviously, the Cardinals, they have James Conner, they have Terry McBride, they have Kyler Murray as well. I think that they could. That's three deadly running backs. It's not a slight to call Kyler Murray a running back. I think he's healthy for this one. I'm not exactly sure, but the Bills' run defense was really poor last year. So I think that these three got to pose some big problems for that Bills defense. This comes down to whether the Cardinals can, control the time of possession and keep Josh Allen off the field as much as he can. Because I really like Josh Allen as well. I know that Stephon Diggs is no longer there, but if I'm Josh Allen, honestly, guys, I don't miss Stephon Diggs. I think that obviously you miss the connection and you're good friends with him, but I wouldn't miss him. And I know he said it himself. I think that you could just exploit the Cardinals' young secondary. And Arizona's going to have to figure out how to deal with that Bills offense. I just don't think it's going to be enough. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to get the job done at home. And I think that, they're also hearing, the creep of doubt come in, whether that be on Coach McDermott or, Josh Allen or the team itself. Yeah, but I'm picking the Bills to get the job done over the Arizona Cardinals here. And next up, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Chicago Bears. So the Titans had a great offseason, and I think in the Bears, they're led by rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. He's had a great preseason. Flashes are brilliant. He's made a lot of excellent throws. And now he's got Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. So he has the tools to succeed. The Titans defense, they're traditionally known for being very aggressive. And, Brian Callahan's now on that Titans head coaching gig, and Mike Vrabel's out. I think they're going to look to continue the just pound the rock, even though they don't have Derrick Henry anymore. Both these teams are looking to avoid some early mistakes. It could be a very close one, but I'm getting kind of similar vibes, except I'm actually going to do this. Rookie quarterbacks, I think that at home especially, I like the Bears in this one. I'm actually going to pick the Bears. I think that Caleb Williams is going to figure his way out. And, I think both these teams are looking to avoid some early mistakes, so that's going to be important for them. And next up, we got the Battle of Florida-ish. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to South Florida to play the Miami Dolphins. This could be a hotly contested game as well. The Dolphins, numerous injuries. Jacksonville's healthy again, but, I have a little bit more questions with Trevor Lawrence than I do with Tua. Both of them have health concerns, I guess, but Trevor Lawrence, he's I'm not going to count that. They're going to have to take advantage of a Miami banged-up defense. The Dolphins, they're going to rely on some veteran leadership. They're going to try to grind out a way at home. Mike McDaniel's still a good coach. And I'm actually going to go with the Miami Dolphins to get the win here. This is kind of a talk toss in the air for me. Jacksonville definitely can win. If they're healthy, they're dangerous too. So people forget that just because of this past year. But we'll see if Jacksonville can capitalize on opportunities. That's going to be important for them. And for the 4 p.m. slate of games, we got the Denver Broncos traveling to Seattle to face the Seattle Seahawks in a rematch of Super Bowl 48. That was one of the first Super Bowls, if not the first, that I remember vividly watching. Broncos are starting Bo Nix, man. He's going to be tested by that Seattle aggressive defense, especially considering the Ravens, they lost Mike McDonald to the Seattle Seahawks to become head coach. Seattle offense, they got Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. They're going to kind of exploit that Denver, that young defense. And the key for the Broncos here is going to be, can they protect Nix? Can they, manage the hostile environment, if you will, at Lumen Field? I think it's going to be a tough challenge. I'm not saying you can't handle, but I just think that it's going to be tough to, kind of, if that's your welcome to the NFL moment, it's not always the best. But I have, all the faith in the world. But we'll see what happens. I'm picking the Seahawks here, like I said. I'm not going to, waver from it. I can see a rookie scenario. Not for this one. Not for this one, though. So I'm picking Seattle. Next up, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers in an AFC West showdown. Chargers got some question marks. Herbert, foot injury, I believe it was. Justin Herbert. Raiders, they made moves to strengthen that defensive line to pair up with Max Crosby, man. Is it going to be enough to exploit that Chargers passing game? Herbert, I think that I'm sold on Herbert, man. I think he's out to prove something, especially he doesn't have an idiot of a head coach anymore in Brandon Staley. I think the key for the Raiders here is they got to get pressure, because I think Justin Herbert's honestly a top 6, top 7 quarterback if he's healthy and if the team won't let him down. Because I think he's an immensely talented quarterback. I think it's going to come down to who can make big plays that matter most, and I trust Justin Herbert significantly more than I trust Jimmy G. So I'm going with the Chargers here. I think that offense has to play outstanding, lights out to win this game, because I think the Raiders' defense is very good, but I think the Chargers are going to do that. So give me the Chargers over the Raiders in this one. Now we kick off the last game of the 2025 season, or the 425 slot, I should say. We got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Cleveland to face the Cleveland Browns. The Cowboys are dealing with so much dysfunction, guys, with contract negotiations, with receiver it's crazy. It's just crazy how much the Cowboys are going through. But the Browns, they got a formidable defense, man. They got Myles Garrett, leading the charge. They got Denzel Ward, former Ohio State Buckeye. Shout out to him. Dak Prescott, they got to make life hell for Dak Prescott to win this game. Cleveland does. Their ability to control the game is going to be decided. The thing is, I want to be wrong about this one, but I'm actually taking the Cleveland Browns in this one. I really want the Cowboys to win. I think they have the talent to win, because I don't like that quarterback that the Browns have. I think he's trash. Every AFC North team, gets a win in week 1, in my book, except for the Ravens, but on Sunday. But again, wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way, because it's week 1, guys. What are you gonna do, huh? Anyway, the last 425 game, we got the Washington Commanders. Sorry, I said the last one was Cowboys-Browns, but I meant this one. We got the Washington Commanders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to face in a late afternoon game. Jaden Daniels is announced as a starter, and he's got on offense with him. They got Jahan Dotson. I think the key is that, are they going to make mistakes against the Tampa Bay? they're kind of aging in a way. They're washed, but they're bringing back pretty much their entire roster from last year. I mean, Baker Mayfield's still there. I think he's transformed into a good quarterback. They're gonna have to play on their home field advantage. I think they got to play to their strengths. They got to play to their strengths, and they got to shut down that dynamic offense that I think could sneak up on a lot of people this year. Jaden Daniels, I think he's gonna be pretty good. And Terry McLaurin is Terry McLaurin. I don't have to say the less said about him. It speaks for himself. I'm actually gonna go with the Washington Commanders here. I know, gut feeling here. Tampa Bay is a better team, in my opinion, but it's a combination of just week one and I just have some crazy confidence they're just gonna win this game. But this is an upset one for me, so I'll take it. But anyway, next up, guys, we got the Rams at the Lions, a rematch of last year's NFC wildcard, I should say. The Rams are dealing with a lot of injuries. Matthew Stafford, I believe, got hurt in training camp. I don't think it's going to impact him, but maybe it will. I don't know. But the Lions, they made a lot of upgrades to their offense and defense, and I think they're still a contender in the AFC to go all the way. The Rams, I mean, obviously Aaron Donald's gone. Cooper Kupp is coming off injury. Puka Nacua is a stud. So a lot of more uncertainty with that. Whenever there's uncertainty with, I guess, both teams, I tend to go with the home team. I always think that the Bengals, or the Lions rather, I always think that my team has issues. So if it's like my team or like another team, I will say that if they both have problems, I usually give it to my team just because I emphasize the other team more. I'm not gonna lie, but for this one, I'm going with the Lions because they're the home team and I do slightly. I agree. Anyway, guys, I don't know why this is Sunday. It's Monday. September 9th, 8:15, Monday Night Football. We got the New York Jets at the San Francisco 49ers, the defending NFC champions. They host the Monday night game. The Jets, they're going to be led by Aaron Rodgers. They're going to head to his home area, I guess, in Northern California. Lots to prove. Strong supporting cast. 49ers defense is going to try to injure him again. Not injure him, but they're going to try to get to him again. Nick Bosa's a beast. Fred Warner's a beast. And, one other thing. San Francisco's always tough at home. I know that Rodgers has beaten them in the regular season a few times. How did it end? But because the 49ers usually end their season. But the question for 49ers will be, can their offense produce consistently? And I'm not saying this is going to happen to them, but I brought this up. When we won 10 in a row, in 2022, our head became really, really big. And I hope that the Niners don't have that same kind of feeling because obviously everybody knows the rep that Deebo Samuel has. He's known as a kind of a showboaty kind of guy. Quiet, but showboaty. But I think this game, honestly, guys, I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to go back and forth, back and forth. If Rodgers wasn't coming off injury, I would have gave the Jets an even better chance. It could come down to the fourth quarter. I think it could be just minus the punt return. It could be, like Bills-Jets in week 1 last year. When the Jets obviously won in overtime, I could see some like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna give the advantage to the home team here, just because I trust them more and I trust Brock Purdy more. I trust in the regular season Kyle Shanahan. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners here. I know that everybody's giving Aaron Rodgers some crap, so I think he's also kind of out for revenge. Albeit, is it playing victim or not? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm going with the Niners for this one. So give me the Niners over the Packers. And that wraps up week 1 picks and predictions. I'm a little bit sick right now, so sorry if I sound a little bit off. Week 2 is going to be much, much better. And I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. But you guys take care. Hoo-day! I hope we get the dub week 1. And I hope all your teams, good luck to all your teams.